Alright, so here is a very quick crash course on the absolute basics you need to be able to put a movie together in iMovie. I'm not going to go too in depth on things. I'm not going to show you any of the fancy tricks. I'm just going to show you the absolute basics that you need to do a little bit of editing, a little bit of recording, and get what you need. So obviously, before we can get started with editing, we need some raw video, and you can use video or photos. Or you can even take a screen recording of your iPad, and I'll show you how to do that too. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe up from the bottom right corner to access my camera app. You can also just find your camera app on your iPad and use that instead. So I'm going to pull that up, and then I'm going to get a recording, and I'm going to change this to the video mode. I'm going to get a recording of discussing my experiment and my demonstration. So I hit the record button and I do a little bit of discussion. I notice that high surface area or low surface area yields high pressure, and high surface area, because more of the pencil is on the paper, means less pressure. So now that I have my video, I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm also going to get a really good picture in case I need that too. So I'm going to switch this to the picture mode, if I can, and take a good picture of the object so that I can label it later. Now, once I've done that, I can go into iMovie. But before I do that, I'm also going to show you guys how to create a recording in Notability. So the first step to recording animations in Notability is, number one, being able to screen record. And to do that, again, you swipe up from the bottom left corner of your iPad to access Control Center. And you'll see if I swipe in from the bottom right corner, that brings me to this screen where on the right side, right here, this little icon right here, I have the screen recording feature. That is not set there by default. So to do that, first you have to go into your settings app, and it's relatively simple. You go into Control Center, and if you can't find it, you can just type it in the search bar, find Control Center. There it is. Go to Customize Controls, and you can see I have screen recording set up on mine, but you might have it down here and you may have to add it in yourself. So if you don't already have that added in, make sure that you do that so that you can use it. So now that we've done that, we can go back to our screen recording function, and I'm going to open Notability back up, and I'm going to record myself using the scissors icon. So I'm going to highlight what I want, and I can animate the object moving back and forth. So I can simulate a nail moving back and forth to help you do a really quick animation. And if you know how to do animations in Keynote, they will be much cleaner and much more organized. But this is a good enough workaround that gets the job done. So we're just going to create a quick recording of ourselves performing this animation. So again, I'm going to swipe up to Control Center, swiping up from the bottom right corner, up from the bottom, and I'm going to turn on screen recording. And I'm going to have to pause this video because it won't let me do a screen recording while I'm also recording this video. But I'm going to create a screen recording where I'm clicking on this and I say, okay, as one nail is moving, there is a really small surface area at that central point where it impacts, and low surface area would yield high pressure. And I'm going to write those things in as I'm doing it. Low surface area equals high pressure. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to move this bed of nails into the balloon and talk about how high surface area creates low pressure. And I'm going to write that in just like I wrote this in here. And based on that, I will now have an animation recorded, I'll have a video recorded, and I'll have that picture of my pencil, and I'm going to take all three of those and show you how to import them into iMovie once I've recorded that. So I'll be right back. Alright, so one thing I do want to point out is over here on this screen recording button on the right hand side at the bottom, I'm hoping my mouse cursor shows up, but I can't guarantee that it does. If you hold that button in, you can turn the microphone on and off. So I recommend you do turn it on in case you do want to use the audio, but I'll also show you how to dub over the audio later. And I also recommend that you plan out what you're going to say before you start recording so you don't get lost in it. And I'll show you what that looks like. If you hold it in, that little microphone icon pops up and you can use that. So now I have my picture, I have my video, and I have my screen recording, and we need to import these into iMovie. So I'm going to open up iMovie and I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to choose Movie. And I'm going to import everything that I want to use. Well, clearly I want my screen recording, I want my video on pressure, and I want my picture on pressure. So I'm going to select all three of those, and I'm going to import them. After we've done that, we're going to create a movie with those selections added in. And it will automatically put them in the order that it was selected, but if you pinch and zoom in this bar in the middle, you can zoom out so that your videos are smaller, or so they look smaller, so that way you can quickly hold your finger down on this video and you can drag it here, you can drag it here, you can drag them in any order. So very simply, you can drag this and move it around. And I want to start with my video of pressure. And then while I'm talking about a couple of things, I'm going to have my picture after that. So we can see right here, this is playing through. It's got the audio included within it. It's playing the audio. I have my iPad muted so you can't hear it, but it is playing the audio, and that's a part of the video. That being said, when we get to the screen recording, I have a lot of stuff here at the beginning that I don't want. Well, it's super easy to crop it out. If we tap on this particular video, you can drag the slider on the green slider on the left and right, which is, you can drag on this green slider and you can drag it in to get rid of the stuff you don't want. It's super easy. You can get rid of some of the garbage. And we're going to get rid of some of that. And then I also noticed that because I was recording this while talking, while tapping on my screen, a lot of the taps came through in the video. And maybe you stuttered while you were talking and you want to re-record your audio while you're watching the video. Well, that's super simple. If we click on the microphone on the left-hand side, right up here, we can start recording while watching the video. So we're going to hit the record button. And you can see right here, as we use a single nail and push it into the balloon, it causes it to pop. That's due to the fact that there is a single nail head which yields low surface area. And low surface area means high pressure. And now you notice how I'm done talking, but my animation is still going on. So with that being the case, I noticed that this second video is too slow. So to fix that, you can click on the video, and I'm going to save that audio because I'm going to speed this video up so that they match. So right now I'm going to show you guys how to change the speed. You can click speed down here on the bottom, and you can drag the slider left and right to change the speed so the video goes faster. Similarly, I'm going to keep this audio, but now I have two audio files over top of each other. Well, that's super simple to fix. You click on the video that you want to remove the audio from, you click on volume, and you can drag the slider all the way down to mute it. that's pretty much all the main features that I think you guys need to get through a simple enough video. The one other thing that I do want to touch is you can add titles, which is great. I'm going to click a title and I'm going to add that in. And when we click this, it should automatically let you... Oh, I have none selected. That's why nothing's happening. Select any one of these titles. Let's go with gravity because that's a physics term. So now we have gravity. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to type my title. And there we go. Now we have a video that I'm always going to watch before I turn in after it's done. And whenever you're done, we're going to come up here to the top left corner. We're going to click done. And because files get corrupted and I don't want to take a risk of that happening, down here at the bottom, I'm going to click the export button and I'm going to click save video to save it to my photo library. It doesn't have to be huge. I like 720 and it's not big enough that my iPad can't hold it. It's not so big that I can't turn it in. So 720 seems like a good happy medium. If your file is really long and too big, you might want to switch to 540 or even 360. There's really not a huge difference when you're recording videos in this quality. So I hope that gives you enough of the basics, and please don't hesitate to let me know if you have any questions. Thanks a lot. Bye.